Good morning, good morning, good morning. See, you know what, Dwayne, I don't like this.
Too many bald heads on the screen.
I'm over here. Not the 3 bald heads. I think that's beautiful. What's ugly about it is my goddamn internet connection over here making me look like I'm stuck in the worst part of the Matrix, the ghetto Matrix.
You on the south side of the Matrix, huh?
Yes. God, how the Matrix got a ghetto? Golly, what is going? Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody.
Good morning and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth.
If not, look like we have great cameras. And that camera doesn't like it, okay?
We don't have Rebecca Azor just yet. She'll be in momentarily, but we are joined by none other than Pascal from the Pascal Show. Brother, it's been a while. How are you?
Man, I've been good. I'm here. Feels good to be home. I'm ready to have some fun. It looks like you mucking up that orange now. You know what I'm saying?
Man, when we cut over to Like It or Not, I totally throw it's a totally different show, right? We do it differently. We act differently. We just ourselves. We don't have to, so yeah, I just ate an orange live on air and I have a whole half left. And I'm going to get to that momentarily. Good morning to everyone. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, everywhere you're watching and streaming us. Good morning to everyone at Act.tv, where they encourage you to do more than watch. They want you to act. Rebecca Azor, like I said, will be joining us momentarily. Pascal, have you seen the movie Ocean's 11?
Of course I have. Yeah, of course. Who hasn't, right?
James, I know you said it's one of my favorite movies.
Of course. 11, 12, 13, and 8.
I didn't see 8. There's an 8?
That's the females.
You don't need to. You really don't need to, bro. No offense. I mean, all about women empowerment and all that stuff, but that movie's trash.
Woo, sir, you just got to put me in a predicament. Now I got to go watch it and find out why it's not trash. Come on, man. It can't be that bad.
Rihanna's in it. That's about the best thing.
Rihanna. See, now I'm definitely going to see it. God bless you. Good morning to Rihanna in your respective places. Let's go with this story about some thieves. 4 guys planned a home robbery in Hollywood Hills. It is along the lines of a Ocean's 11 styled heist. Even though they weren't going after a casino, they were going after a home. Let's take a look at this clip and get more information.
Wow.
These guys were very bold, these suspects. There's a sign outside of the home saying there is surveillance and there are cameras, a lot of lights as well. We'll go ahead and show you the neighborhood this happened, and here is a map. It was right around 11:15 last night here in the Hollywood Hills near Mulholland Drive and Pacific View Trail. And as I said, the home has lights, motion detectors, and cameras, and that did not deter the suspects, nor did the owner's dog. Now, this is the video of the suspects. You can see them coming in through the garage, at least 4, possibly 5. They get into a guest bedroom as well. Now, the owner believes the suspects used a screwdriver to get the garage door open. He says they saw one camera and turned it, but did not see the other. The owner tells us he was watching TV when his dog barked. He also heard something on the roof. Thinking it was possibly a raccoon, he checked the security cameras, and that's when he saw someone inside. The video showed the suspects inside the garage going through drawers, cupboards, and closets, tearing things apart. The owner called 911, and officers told him to lock himself in the bathroom. He believes the suspects saw him, though, which is why they fled.
I was panicking, so I leaned out my head out the bathroom, which looks out the living room, and if they were coming through there, they would have saw me. And when we played the video back, there were 5 people just racing out, like fast. So they obviously saw me.
Another video shows police arrive.
No rule. We're not going to take descriptions from dramatic journalists or whoever made this headline up. That's just a break in an entry. That's not an Ocean's 11 style.
Ocean's 11 style heist. That wasn't nobody's heist at all. That was a breaking and entering. It was Ocean's 11.
Standard Friday night in Pompano. What are they talking about here?
It looks like one of them thieves went in there and used a butter knife to get to Jimmy a lock or something like that. So you're talking about Ocean's 11. Okay, there's a bar set. Okay, George Clooney set the bar pretty damn high. Okay, it was high. Okay, these guys.
He had the little man who had to get inside of the. Remember the little guy who had to get inside of the container with the oxygen mask in order to stick? These guys used a screwdriver to open the garage door.
Thank you. They had a Cirque du Soleil acrobat. They had a Cirque du Soleil acrobat flipping in and out and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Bro, what is this? That looks like
okay. I need to know who titled this. Which reporter on the other? Because we get this information and we digest it. Sometimes I watch the clips beforehand. Had I watched this clip beforehand, there's no way I would have let us go with that headline. But this is an even better story. Some journalists in this city, what city is it? KTLA 5.
That's LA, right? Yep, LA.
Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11. Real talk.
Whoever got this, put this story in there, I'm calling shenanigans because this. What is this? What have we become?
These are Thieves. That's it. Them Thieves.
Thieves.
Okay. This is Tekashi 6ix9ine and his crew coming through. One of them looked like
Pascal. These are my homeboys. I ain't even gonna say my homeboys. These is random Johnny from down the street at the corner store right here. It's like I ain't gonna say Tekashi. Look.
That's Pookie and Ray Ray coming through.
That's
Pookie and Ray Ray.
I updated the headline for y'all.
Thank you.
Bro, no. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know some crackheads who maneuver better than these guys. I don't know what
for real.
There's some dudes I know around the corner in Boynton, man. Get by that boy. They know how to break into something. They will actually use your code. They will get your code and get this. This, on the other hand, looks like some guys who were on meth decided to go on a joyride. Oh man!
Somebody, whoever wrote that title, first off, what the media will do just for a few clicks. That's number one. Number two.
That's it.
No one saw Ocean's 11. And none of them saw it. I was expecting when you said Ocean's 11 style home invasion or home, home burglary. I was expecting somebody to be descended
crawling
from
on the roof or some shit.
like this is like Mission Impossible 17 or something like that. You know what I mean? What is this? It was a butter knife. A butter knife.
And then who house are you breaking into? This is like random buddy house. You're not breaking into nobody famous or celebrity's house. You breaking into random buddy house. I'm like, it's shit everywhere in there.
You can't even walk down that hallway. Was like, it's plenty of stuff in there for us to get.
I think there's an aspiring, ambitious journalist there in LA who heard that this homeowner had security, had dogs, had lasers, had all this other stuff. Apparently, he doesn't have garage security because all he had to use was a screwdriver. But yet they called this an Ocean's 11 style. New rule. Somebody on the team has to watch this stuff before we go live because I don't think anybody on our team watched this. We just saw it. It was like, this is, because honestly, had I seen this, I would have titled it the first time. Drug addicts gone wrong.
we kind of previewed the clip a little bit in our meeting last night.
I didn't come to the meeting. The whole meeting. I was in another meeting.
This is what happens when I miss production meetings.
And see what happens. See, David, you could have laid below. David could have laid below the radar, and just nobody would have known. I was trying to blame KTLA, but now, David, everybody knows that you watched it.
Well, there's got to be better houses in the Hollywood Hills for them to break up. To try to get
Dwayne, right, bruh.
That looks like a house that was in an episode of Hoarders. That's what it looks like to me. And they were like, Joe, they got a gang of stuff in there, bruh. Let's just go in there and we just smash, grab, and run. This wasn't even a smash and grab. Listen, the boys that are going into these jewelry stores, I don't encourage it. I'm not suggesting that you're doing it. I'm just saying they're a little more sophisticated. They're smashing and grabbing and getting out in like 13 seconds. Like, compare that. But this is some shit. Jimmy, who's on meth. Anyway, let's move on. This is a sad story. Iconic DJ and hip hop pioneer DJ K Slade dies after a 4-month battle with COVID-19.
Yeah, the People magazine is reporting that the pioneering hip hop icon died at the age of 55, so young. The disc jockey, the DJ, and record executive, real name Keith Grayson, died on April 17th after a 4-month-long battle with COVID-19. This is. I mean, he's run that B-roll because you can get an idea of the kind of work and the impact this brother had. A lot of people may not recognize him just by his name immediately, but as soon as you start looking at his credits and you listen to his work and you've seen who he's worked with, you're going to immediately identify. What are y'all thoughts, man? 4-month battle with COVID.
It's terrible news. I mean, any person that's been a contributor or a advocate for music, hip hop music, black music, losing someone like that is still a terrible thing. And the way that he has passed, from the Rona is still terrible, because you still don't think that those kind of stories, you think that we're past that in a way, but no, we still hear these stories of people dying from COVID-19. So it's a harsh reality that this COVID is still out here and it's still still claiming lives. You know what I mean? But may he rest in peace. I mad props for his contribution to the music. Real talk.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah. I remember when I first started DJing, a lot of the music that I would get on that big ass computer I used to have, a lot of used to have DJ K Slate. That was all that was in my music, because he had all the hits, man, all the bangers. So that was definitely one of the pioneers, that started a lot of the DJing stuff, but was in there, especially when music started at a high point. When you had the Jay-Z's, the Ja Rules, and everybody started coming up through, he would be that one that would break those records as well too. So definitely gonna be missed. But 4 months, man, battling COVID. 4 months, and then here y'all are lifting mandates in airplanes and airports and everything. Okay.
Well, okay. Yeah. Speaking of, let's go all the way back to the top, Dwayne. Speaking of, James, COVID around the world, the CDC is lifting travel bans as COVID is spiking in New York City. All meanwhile, Shanghai is still on lockdown, but here we are in the United States, lifting those mask mandates on airplanes. Like you said, I want to read a little bit from Reuters. A federal judge in Tampa, Florida, has overturned the CDC's mask mandate for airline passengers and other travelers. Biden administration says mandate no longer in effect while they consider how to respond. Meanwhile, New York's MTA is keeping its mandate in place for the city subway system. The CDC had previously extended its mandate for public transportation through May 3rd. This is all coming after, as the CDC also lifts COVID, quote unquote, do not travel recommendations on about 90 countries. So the long story short is we're open for business while the funeral homes are having the best business of their existence.
Mm-hmm. So messed up, but it's true. Sorry, I just had a vision in my head of a dude who owns a funeral home just doing cartwheels, throwing money in the air, and that's just really just messed up. But can I throw out my theory?
Go for it.
Okay,
let's go.
Okay, number one. Okay, yes, in a way, yes, it's kind of nice not having to wear a mask on a plane, but at least the idea of it's really, really nice, right? Like they say, marriage is a really nice idea. But anyway, I digress. So I'm just kidding. But moving on, here it is. I get one bad joke for the day. Okay. One bad joke. Okay, James. Okay.
Look, I understand you.
Yeah, I got to share that space.
Know what you're talking about.
So here it is, though. Okay. They lifted the mask mandates on planes and, all that stuff. Oh, I'll be wearing my mask. I don't care. I will be doing that because I don't trust nobody. Okay, nobody. But here's my theory. Here's my theory on why I think that he lifted this. He wants to get some of the heat off of him. He wants to raise his approval ratings just a smidge right now. Everything's plummeting right now. So let's talk about Biden. He lifted this. He clearly lifted this so that he can get a little bit more praise on his end. People are going on to planes wearing masks that say certain slogans that are basically a middle finger to the president of these United States. His approval ratings are plummeting crazily right now. You think that one way of him saying, hey guys, let's not forget gas is going through the roof. It's still expensive out here. It hasn't really dropped or anything. Nothing has changed. So of course he's going, well, let me do a little bit of a Kansas City shuffle really quick. Let me make everybody look left while I go right real quick. All right. And make them feel good while I do something else that might upset everybody. So let me release the beast by taking off these masks on these planes so everybody can stop losing their damn minds. Well, that's what I think. That's my theory.
Let me throw one little slight adjustment to the story here, because there's two parts that's happening at one time. So, though the CDC portion is where they're lifting the do not travel. So, there's people now we can travel, right? We can go to these 90 countries. Right. That's a part of the CDC tied to the Biden administration. I want to play this first clip. This is actually a Donald Trump judge, the federal judge in Tampa, who overturned that CDC mask mandate. And what's so bad about it is that it's coming at the time where the variants, it's coming at the worst possible time, right? Because we're simultaneously at this space where everyone, or the majority of people, have crisis fatigue, right? 2.5 years of this. Even I'm out in the streets. And if I'm out in the streets, I don't think anybody else is probably locked down, because I locked down harder than anybody else. Now, that said, lifting the mask mandate at this point, especially on airlines, right? That is asking for more people to get sick, literally. This first clip is of that is reporting on the federal judge in Tampa who overturned the CDC's mask mandate. Let's take a listen to it.
The Biden administration's latest effort to reduce the spread of COVID-19 was struck down in a Florida court on Monday, when a federal judge ruled that a mask mandate on public transportation was unlawful. U.S. health officials just last week extended the mandate by 15 days, requiring travelers to wear masks on airplanes, trains, and in taxis and transit hubs, saying they needed time to assess the impact of a recent rise in COVID-19 cases. The latest ruling, made by a district judge appointed by former President Donald Trump, came in a lawsuit filed in Tampa last year by a group called the Health Freedom Defense Fund. The judge argued that the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention had exceeded its authority with the mandate, had not sought public comment, and did not adequately explain its decisions. The judge sent the issue back to the CDC. But in the meantime, a U.S. administration official said the Biden administration will not enforce the U.S. transportation mask mandate.
So this is obviously a disappointing decision.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki called the judge's decision disappointing, adding that the Biden administration would continue to recommend that people wear masks. The ruling could create confusion on airplanes where the mask mandate has caused a surge in incidents and altercations between airline officials enforcing the mandate and passengers rejecting the demand they cover their faces. The Federal Aviation Administration said that since January 2021, there have been a record 7,060 unruly passenger incidents reported, and 70% involved masking. The ruling comes as the CDC on Monday dropped its do not travel COVID-19 recommendations for about 90 international destinations.
You know what, fellas, what bothers me so much about this particular story is how far this country is willing to go to make sure that some heart disease-ridden white man with shades who likes Donald Trump isn't mildly inconvenienced for a 3-hour flight, while his nasty COVID-drenched breath infects everyone else on that plane. This country bows down to those grossly mediocre and probably very stinky men in such a fashion that now we have a federal judge overturn this mask mandate, and it's going to get people killed. 7,000 people having confrontations on a plane, yeah, that seems a lot. But when you consider that they are men children, underdeveloped mentally, socially and emotionally stunted, so much so that they can't put on a damn mask to save other people's lives, I'm sorry. The only thing that we should do with people like that is throw them out of the plane. But then other people would get hurt. Sorry. Go ahead, guys.
I'm kind of just upset how just like one goddamn judge in one
Can
state
do this.
out of goddamn 50 can do this. To me, when I heard the news yesterday, I'm just like, wait, so you telling me that's all we got to do in this country is got one judge to overturn a ruling? So I got plenty of stuff that can be overturned that I can think of that's way more important than this, because right now they're saving lives. I mean, last time I was on the plane, it was a mother sucker next to me. Bro, I'm glad you have your mask on. So now we're just going to go ahead and just put people's lives in danger versus you overturning me got to pay my student loans back. Okay,
Come on, man. Come on.
Great. I appreciate it.
You said a word there, James.
That part.
Student loans is gonna be my go-to for every damn thing in this country, because right now, boy, that's y'all care about everything else but the shit that y'all need to care about. Real talk.
Right. That's right. One judge, one state, and this judge was appointed by Donald Trump. And I mean, unfortunately, the federal judiciary does have this capacity if a judge wants to just simply do it. And Donald Trump, I think it was over 80 federal judges. Donald Trump got to appoint nearly or more than 80 federal judges, many of whom weren't even qualified. And the reason he appointed them were for situations just like this, James, so that this one judge can put the rest of America's lives at risk because of a bunch of nasty looking dudes with shades. Go ahead. Pull me out of this before I get. I'm trying not to say the real stuff that I'm going to say later. Go ahead, Pascal. What are your thoughts on this?
Men, children. So my thing is my problem is, okay, we ain't ready. Okay, this is the opposite of Tiffany Haddish. Okay, we ain't ready. Okay, we're not ready. And I don't know why we're being put into this situation when you see Shanghai, people are locked up, no lie. People are screaming out of their apartments, out of apartment buildings, out of their buildings to be released, for salvation. They're locked up that hard because of this outbreak that happened over there. There are still numbers increasing, just like you just told us just a second ago. I didn't know about numbers in New York, but that's still a very surprising piece of information. So yes, I get it. We're walking into the summertime. Usually the numbers go low, and we think, okay, everything's going to be just fine. We're going to be great, right? But then it's always the fall that comes around where the numbers start to increase. This is going to be mostly a seasonal thing for us. Why would they do something like this when you know for a fact that people are going to be traveling internationally? People are going to get sick, regardless if they want to or not. But if there's a way that we can stop this or lower the chances of transmitting these variants out here, then why not do that?
It's asking too much, Pascal.
It just doesn't make any sense.
It's asking too much for me to put on a mask.
Here it is. Asking for too much. How long have we been doing it? So keep asking for too much.
That's right.
For one more year. Like, give us one more year. 365, 365 days. Give us one more year, man. Make sure that this thing is really down and these variants that keep coming out get less and less intense rather than it being the original. You got Shanghai shut down right now. Why do you think Shanghai is shut down? People are going to be crazy enough to jump on the planes from Shanghai, or anybody that was connected to somebody or hasn't been in contact with somebody in a hot place, okay? Jump in a plane, fly over to America, and then, I mean, it's just the song that doesn't end, man. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, all right, why? I get it. I see beyond the BS, right? I see beyond the stuff. I'm seeing beyond the veil, and I know what they're trying to do. They're tired of people fighting over things, craziness going on at 32,000 feet in the air, so on and so forth. But hey, F it.
They got air marshals for a reason.
Thank you.
Hit those people in the jugular and sit them down and put a mask on them.
You know what I'm saying?
And then we'll be okay.
Clearly, the air marshals must be in short supply, because in all of these incidents on airplanes where all this stuff's going on, I sure the hell don't see not nan air marshal in any of that stuff.
That's right. Now, listen, I want to, before we go to that point, because that's an important point, the clip that we was playing was footage of the individuals, the people in Shanghai, screaming out of their windows. Let's play that real quick so everyone can see what you were talking about, Pascal.
It's creepy.
这个是正常的叫，好了，终于2万人，所有人都在叫，要命了！就刚刚5分钟前头，叫还没几个人。
Right, it does. Train to Busan.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. And that is a result of China facing the worst outbreak of COVID since the pandemic began. Reports have surfaced in recent weeks that the strain that's leading to the severe lockdown measures has been placed on the citizens of China. The former chief economist for the National Bureau of Statistics told the New York Times, when talking about the impact of the pandemic outlook on Shanghai, this is what he said. He said, "We cannot forget that they are important parts of the entire supply chain and will certainly have an effect on the whole circle of the entire Chinese economy. Shanghai, in particular, plays an important role in the auto supply chain, its hub for international car companies. If the hub fails, the whole system won't work." All right, I get it. That makes sense. And that's a good reason to do it. The problem is here in the United States of America, we did not stay out. We didn't rest for a month. We didn't lock down for a full month. People were still out. People were still partying. And that was before the vaccine. After the vaccine, people stopped locking down even more, and the masks start coming out. So it's really just, in the United States of America, we do not have leaders who have the political fortitude to do what's necessary to save lives. And as a result, 1 million Americans have died during this pandemic. It's crazy. I know the people in Shanghai are screaming and it sounded horrible, but God, I would much rather scream today and be alive next week than to have my spoiled little, I just got to go out and got to go to the club. I just got to go to Hooters and eat and sit around a bunch of people and then be dead. Like, why are Americans so stupid? You literally have a choice of, anyway, it's too late now. A million are dead. I think we're at like 500 a day now who are dying. Nobody even talks about that anymore. It was at 2,000 a day for a little while, and everybody shut up about that. But here we are at what could be the tail end of the pandemic. And it looks like we're getting ready to go into year 3 and year 4 because Americans are so stupid and selfish. Especially those Trump supporters.
This thing ain't going nowhere. This thing ain't going nowhere at all. Especially everybody on spring break going around spreading all their germs everywhere and everything. So it's just the numbers that they are reporting are not correct. They're not accurate numbers, because then you got to think about all these people that's not getting tested anymore. They're only giving so much testing data. So it's just like,
that's right.
Half the shit is gone out the window.
Yep.
It's just like, y'all just act like it's not here anymore. Y'all will be okay. Y'all won't catch it. But I'm about to go ahead and take a test after I get off this show today, because I'm starting to sniffle. I'm just like, I ain't been around nobody but family, but damn, I still got to make sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard facts.
Facts on facts.
That's hard facts.
Speaking of somebody earlier, when we were talking to Tashira Garraway, we were talking about her son's very tragic situation over there in Minneapolis, being detained at 16 years old. And as she was describing the story, one of the things I said was like, it was so heart-wrenching. I'm like, no, we got plenty of room in Florida. Send them here. And to that, a lot of people in the comments section were like, no, Ben, we appreciate the gesture, but Florida is out of its goddamn mind. And I have to admit, reading this next story, don't send anybody to Florida. I'm just here temporarily. I'm getting the hell out of here soon, because in Florida has banned 54 math books. The Republican lawmakers are on a banning spree. They're not only banning math books, they're out there banning abortions as a whole. Florida rejects dozens of math books claiming they attempt to indoctrinate students. I have a little one here with me in the background. Florida rejects a statement released by the Florida Department of Education on April 15th. It announced the rejection of 54 math textbooks, quote, among the prohibited topics and unsolicited strategies named by the department that are at odds with the Florida Department of Education standards are references to critical race theory, inclusions of Common Core, and the unsolicited addition of social emotional learning in mathematics. That's why they rejected 54 math books in the state of Florida. Critical race theory, Common Core, which I'm not a fan of, and social and emotional intelligence. Because those things are in the books, the state of Florida said, we got to get rid of them.
Like
so no, don't send anybody to Florida.
Wow.
Race essentialism? What? So wait, what? Math is what? Math is what?
Where does this fit in math at?
What did math ever do to anybody? What? I mean, I'm sorry.
So the math equation was X. The black man is X. White man is CD. I don't know. Like what?
Wait. This sounds like DeSantis woke up one morning. He's like, what am I gonna say that's racist today? Math. I'm gonna choose math. First it was the books. Today it's math. You know what I'm saying? What? This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. What? And wait. They're successfully, because this is still news to me. Obviously, you already see how I'm reacting right here. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Okay, so explain this to me. So people are behind this, and they've literally done this successfully, banning these how many math books? It'd be arithmetic. What?
You got to understand, though, algebra is Arabic. You know, we knew Arabic numerals. There's a whole lot of stuff in math that
have mercy.
That something I'm calling, because I don't want to call them white supremacists anymore. That's too much power. I think I'm going to call them cracker supremacists. And the thing about it is that they really are pouring and looking for anything that they can to remove blackness, brownness, Islam, Arabic, anything that is not like from the Caucasus Mountains. Like, if it's not a Slavic baby, you know, Republicans are really just rejecting it all across the globe. And I want to read some quotes because, yes, there are people who are on board with this. Richard Cochran, the commissioner of education, said this via NPR, quote, "We continue to reinforce parents' rights by focusing on providing their children with a world-class education without the fear or indoctrination or exposure to dangerous and divisive concepts in our classrooms." That's the commissioner of education of the state of Florida as to why they're getting rid of those 54 math books. They have, I don't even know how these books have critical race theory in them, but here we are.
So I want a part of me wants to know, like, how old are these 54 books? Slaves.
Okay, I had both of you at the same time. Go ahead, Dwayne, and then go ahead, Bubba.
The problem in the math book said Massa had 2,500 slaves. If 35 of them ran away, how many slaves did Massa have left?
Stop.
That's why they banned the book.
Stop.
I'm glad, Dwayne. Honestly, it is like that. There was probably a word problem that mentioned something about accepting all your brothers and sisters, and all of a sudden it's a problem.
Man, and that's what I said. I want to know what year these books are from. Like, how recent are these books? I mean, today.
Maybe they had an appearance. They had a picture of an interracial couple in it, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it was a black man with a white woman or something, and, you know, Ron DeSantis.
Ain't the book black? Oh, I forgot. They got color books now. Okay, never mind. I forgot. See, I'm that old. My books was in black and white, bro. Shit.
And correction, Dwayne, correction. If there was slavery in there, they would have kept that ish in there. Real talk. They would have kept it. Well, you know what I'm saying? But I get the joke. It's funny. But I'm like, actually, they would keep that in there. They'd be like, everything else is wrong except this one page. This one page is right. Okay, we got to teach our kids.
Massa. I remember Massa. He's a great person.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna keep him.
Oh man, what math is racist? What math? What? I just it's
how it be racist.
Calculus. Calculus is racist as hell.
It's the derivatives for me. It's the derivatives. It's racist ass derivatives.
I feel bad for every single child. I feel bad for every single, like, real talk on a real tip. I feel really, really bad for every single child that has a knack for math, that has a love for math, that wants to use math to, I don't know, expand their mind, to do more things with computers, electronics, so on and so forth. Whoever is living in Florida right now could be the next Steve Jobs, the next Bill Gates, the next big time surgeon to save the world. You need math for those things. And if you're taking certain things out, like math and science, let's not forget that too, but you need those things. And if you are not, if you're taking out 50 some odd books from all these schools because it's going to indoctrinate the children, I'm scared for Florida. I'm scared for Florida. And I'm telling you right now, parents that are out there and you see that your kids have a knack for math, move, get out of the state. Just kick rocks, get out into the wilderness streets, and go to a better place that is going to embrace math. Oh my God, math! Right. Bubba,
or homeschool.
I'm done. Homeschool, no. That could be very dangerous, especially in Florida. I'm just saying.
I mean, I homeschool. I've been homeschooling through the whole pandemic, man. I ain't sending my kids back out to these.
I'm not knocking homeschooling from. I'm not talking about homeschooling in Georgia or any other state, but in Florida, I'm a little nervous about that. I'm just gonna be real. Just a little nervous.
And I figured it out. I figured it out, y'all. I know the reason why they banned the 54 books. They probably all I guarantee you that all 54 of those books are written by black people or people of color.
I would like to see it. I would like to see exactly what's the breakdown.
Now I want to see the list. Yeah,
I want to see the list. Well, here's a couple more quotes because they haven't released the
black name.
Oddly enough. They haven't. Here's a quote from Governor DeSantis, the Republican governor there in Florida. He praised the move. Obviously, there's nothing racist that this man doesn't like. He's like flies on shit. He runs when he smells something racist. He's there. He says, it seems that some publishers attempted to slap a coat of paint on an old house built on the foundation of Common Core and indoctrinating concepts like race essentialism, especially bizarrely for elementary school students, end quote. Listen, I have nothing good to say about Ron DeSantis. He reminds me of Opie from what's that show? He's the village idiot that saw Donald Trump actually make it to the White House, and now he's like, well, if that moron can make it, I got at least one more working digit than him, and he's now trying to make himself nationally known to be the next president. That's Ron DeSantis, but he is currently the governor. And he's signing these pieces of legislation. He's overturning these books. He's overturning the mask mandates. He's literally doing everything he can to make Florida a shithole country, a state.
Yeah, the math ain't mathing with me on this one. Okay, I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I'm not. And
I saw what you did there, Pascal. Good job.
Thank you. You're welcome, James. Okay, aloha. Big metal fan. So one of the things that I would say, if they really were sitting there going, oh yeah, it's because these black individuals wrote this book, it better be the blackest damn name in the world. It better be a voodoo Blackson. You know what I'm saying? It better be the most
Malcolm Jamal Abdullah.
Okay. Listen, we are not going to have the blackest name game on this show this morning.
Just saying. Okay.
Because I taught some pretty hood schools now. I got some names for you, Shaniqua. Anyway, and that's just the beginning. But no, I certainly hope. I don't hope anything for Florida except for the Ron DeSantis to. May Ron DeSantis have as pleasant of a life as everyone he has made suffer in the state of Florida. I hope that's how his life goes. Let's go to better news. If you like football.
I'm sorry.
You're hoping the whole universe falls on these people. Like y'all remember that scene in Iron Man when Thanos in Infinity War when Thanos pulled the whole moon down on Tony Stark? Like some of these bastards really do need an entire asteroid to fall on their house. Like Ron DeSantis
just need the whole damn snap, Ben. Damn the planet. Just go ahead and snap all their asses.
Snap all these racist, mediocre, saltine supremacists. Oh, the alliteration is safer. I'll use the alliteration. Saltine supremacists. I'll go further with that. One last story. Your boy, Colin Kaepernick. He's willing to come back to the NFL as a backup quarterback. He is still out there hitting it. He is still out there practicing every day. We've seen videos across the years, and he's letting it be known that he still wants to play. Let's listen to this quick clip as he breaks down his thoughts.
In one of his first interviews in years, Colin Kaepernick says he still hopes to once again be an NFL quarterback.
Do you want to play football?
Absolutely. I mean, that's without question.
This candid session takes place after the free agent quarterback had a training session with former NFL stars Chad Ochocinco and Brandon Marshall.
What you saw out here, that's 5 years of training behind the scenes to make sure I'm ready and stay ready at the highest level. You don't do that if you don't have a passion and you don't believe you're going to find a way on that field.
Kaepernick acknowledges that at this point, he'd sign as a backup.
I know I have to find my way back in. Okay. So, yeah, if I have to come in as a backup, that's fine. But that's not where I'm staying.
Kaepernick did secure one 2017 meeting with the Seattle Seahawks, but he's heard nothing in the 5 years since. He's even reached out to each team and participated in numerous public exhibitions. In his pursuit of a comeback, Kaepernick trained with Seattle wide receiver Aaron Fuller, through with current NFL players, even passing for scouts at the University of Michigan.
Let me come in, compete, show you what I can do.
The now 34-year-old is asking franchises and their GMs to see him as a no distractions team player.
The narrative was out there was, oh, it's going to be a media circus. What else comes with him?
Some of these teams can use a media circus to get some attention to them, but then all of these teams, I mean, Colin Kaepernick, he wasn't anything to sleep on. And there's a lot of teams right now who don't need him as a backup quarterback. They need him as a dead ass, starting quarterback. But anyway, what are y'all thoughts? I wasn't going to say, goddamn, James.
So
Jaguars.
say it all the damn time. They finally got rid of Matt Ryan ass, but goddamn, who they got? Never mind. I digress.
Pascal, you follow football, man. What do you think about this, bro?
I feel bad for Colin Kaepernick. He made a very bold statement, a very strong statement where, to bring awareness to the brutality that Black people have to deal with, that our culture has to deal with on a daily basis. But it's backfired on him. It's really unfortunate because he's a talented dude. He obviously has a love for the game, but I will say that he made a decision, and that decision, he shot himself in the foot, unfortunately. And I'm not saying this against Colin Kaepernick. I'm just saying the reality of it. If they didn't have a problem with him taking a knee, he'd still be playing right now. He'd be on the field playing without any issues. Maybe he'd be playing on a different team, but he'd be playing nonetheless. But then, on top of that, he did do that movie or that Netflix show about his life growing up. And I thought it was a very powerful piece, very interesting piece to watch. But he talked about the combine, and he compared that to being put on the selling block as a slave. So you got the NFL looking at that kind of content and seeing what he's saying about those things. And now he wants to play again. Yes, I could see why the NFL is going, well, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of a pause. You see what I'm saying? But it's unfortunate. I feel like he did the right thing. I really do think that, but I think that it's had a very he's been suffering the repercussions of his choices and his actions. I think he shouldn't be playing. I think he should focus on being a public speaker, being an advocate out here, writing some books, so on and so forth.
You think he should let it go?
I think he should let it go. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's done. Unless there's a way that he can redeem, like a way that they can not redeem, because he doesn't have to redeem anything. His choice was amazing, and I'm with it all day long. But unless there's a way that they can have some reconciliation or clarity between the NFL and Colin Kaepernick, I just don't see.
I mean, they're not though. But they're not. I mean. The only thing that backfired is that he actually is playing in a league that is racist as hell, right?
Yeah,
team owners who carry themselves as slave masters, right? With that level of entitlement just because you're paying these guys. And he's right. The combine does look like an auction block, right? There's a lot of comparisons there.
But you gotta.
I never really thought about him not playing anymore, though. That's an interesting take. Maybe he shouldn't. I think that's something good.
I guess it's a lot of different things, because there's a lot of truth that's starting to come out. That coach that just came out saying that there is racism within
Flores.
Brian
Flores.
Say again.
Brian Flores, NFL coach.
Yes, Flores. Thank you. You know what I mean? Saying that there is. So there are truths to these things that are coming out now. Things are starting to surface, but unfortunately, he is the scapegoat. He is he is the whipping boy. So, of course, he's the one who struck the match that started this fire. And I feel like they're looking at him as the boy with the burnt match in his hand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the house is on fire behind him. And they're just going, well, you're the one who did this. You're the one who started this fire. So you're going to have to suffer
looked
the
at as the rabble rouser.
Exactly. And so that's why, even in that video where in this interview, they're sitting there going, are you going to stir the pot, or are you just going to keep your head down and play? I think that's one of the things, that's one of the big, heavy things that are hanging over any football team's head. So with that being said, I mean, I would love to see him play, but I think he took he made a big statement. He made a big sacrifice for the betterment of all of us. And I think there's another route he can go down, and it may not be him throwing around the pigskin.
And you know what, Pascal, I never thought about it like that until you said it, but it makes a lot of sense that I think I'm coming around to maybe he shouldn't try to get back in and play, because he can have a bigger impact by not doing it. Because at this point, it almost seems like, and I know this isn't what he's doing, but it almost seems like he's begging to get back into something, back into the club that he got kicked out of for taking a stand, which was the right stand. But at this point, he could probably have a better impact outside of the game than being somebody's back.
Oh, that's for sure.
Somebody to just sign, and he'd be just this show pony for a team to sign and say, look what we're doing.
Do you really see him playing and winning a Super Bowl anytime soon? I don't think. No, I don't think so.
Right.
I think he has more.
I don't think they'll give him an opportunity. I think he has a skill set to do it, though. He has the skills to do it. He's only 34.
He has the skill set, but he has more. He has more push and more pull and more influence out here by using his
outside
words,
the field,
by using his presence and who he is, than him throwing that damn ball. I just think what he's doing and what he has done is more powerful, and I think he needs to lean on that hard out here. Get with some coaches, get with some not football coaches, like speech coaches, media coaches, people that can teach him how to speak in front of the camera, in front of the microphone. Move.
So you say he should lean in
the world.
Lean in.
Yes, he should lean all the way in. And I understand he probably is going, man, I need to secure a bag. I get that piece too. We all got to eat. There's a way he can do this and still secure a hefty bag. So to me, let
me read this comment real quick. Let me read this comment from Shelby on YouTube. Said, I know how hard it is to let a career go when it is your entire identity, when your entire identity is wrapped up in it, but it is possible and better things will come. Dwayne, if you would slide through that clip, because there's a part where I actually think I'm going to agree with all of you. There's a part in that clip where he basically says, I'm not going to make a scene. That's a summary. I'm paraphrasing it. And this is how CNN set it up. I want us to hear that portion again, because if him getting back on the football field means that he has to sacrifice his voice, then I too don't think he should get back on that football field. I don't know if you see that part, Dwayne, but let it play real quick. Okay.
It's almost like he's contradicting himself if you really think about it, because you're saying that you being that voice and doing everything, but now you're basically saying that if I get back out there, I'm gonna shut the hell up and y'all won't have to worry about me doing anything. Yeah. So now all of this stuff that you did, basically you're willing to just throw that under the rug. You're sweeping under the rug and say, hey, I did it, but yeah, it's in the past. I'm not doing that no more. So when it comes up to it again, are you gonna do that? If it comes to a situation where you're being wrongly done and you see that your people are being done wrong or whatnot, are you going to stand up and stick up, or are you just going to sit back and not do anything at all? Because now people are going to look for you to be the leader and stuff like that. They're going to come to you for advice and find out what's going on. Like, hey, the NFL is doing XYZ to me, so you think you can help me do this? That's what's going to happen.
Jesus Christ. Dwayne, let me know when you have that. I don't know what this comment is in reply to, and I normally stay out of the comment section, but this is one of my favorite comments ever. They said, I agree. This is from Sydney Butler. I agree, but it's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame. Y'all, I know that might not be deep to y'all, but like I've been struggling with that over these last 2 years. It's really hard to understand what's going on when you're inside of the movie.
Can I? Do you mind if I piggyback on that? Because that is a very good point there, because I feel like that's what's going on with him. That's a perfect. Sydney Butler just said something, like just dropped a bomb. Seriously, a truth bomb here, because here it is. Think about where Colin Kaepernick is sitting right now. He grew up loving the game of football. That's the one thing that's the one main thing he knows what to do, right? It's the only thing he knows what to do. But then suddenly out of nowhere, he gets thrust into a different category. And I can see where somebody who's going like, oh, I just want to be a musician. But then suddenly they find out that they're really good at something else, or that they get thrust into something else, right? All their life, they've only been playing music. But now they're asked to do something complete, like wear a different hat. There's still a part of them that's dragging him back over into sports, for example. He's still going, but I got to throw the football. I got to, because that's what I know. That's all I know. And it's like, no, y'all. No, man. We see you over here. Just come back over here. You're going to be fine. But this is normalcy for him. This is his comfort zone. Being out here is uncomfortable. So that's why he's still trying to do something, still trying to secure that football deal, because this is all he knows. And I don't think maybe he doesn't have the right people around him, doesn't have the right team. Maybe he doesn't even know what to do with what he has done, right? To turn this into something more powerful and more palpable out here. That's why I say, get a team, talk to the right people. But he is fighting against something so badly. And it's like, you go and you get into a football team, you're just going to shut the hell up? Oh, hell no. You're going to lose all respect.
Play that part, Dwayne.
And their GMs to see him as a no distractions team player.
The narrative was out there was, oh, it's going to be a media circus. What else comes with him?
I don't know. Well, you know what? Ultimately, the brother do whatever he wants to do. Go forth, do what you think is best for your life, brother. And I think it is a statement more of how racist this country is. The NFL still racist, drenched with saltine supremacy. But if that's what he wants to do, go for it. I still agree with you, Pascal. I think there's a whole lot more for him out there, and I hope that he gets to realize that soon. We're at the top of the hour. Pascal, your show's coming up, man. You've been doing some great things over at the channel, man. Got all the people watching and streaming, the 10,000 people watching you live. Tell everybody how they can get up with you and watch your content, man.
Yeah, please hop over to youtube.com/The Pascal Show. I'll be on for a very short while today to talk to you guys about a new story, or actually developing story. So if you're interested to find out some new information revolving around the young boy, 14-year-old Tyrese Sampson, who fell to his death from the free fall ride. There's some new information that just popped off. So I'm going to be hopping on here in just about 5 minutes to break this new information. And hopefully we can get, hopefully the family will get some clarity and some justice for this young boy. So please hop on over to youtube.com/The Pascal Show. Hit that subscribe button and let's have some fun.
No, we're going to see you in a few minutes because this is a good time as any. Rebecca couldn't make it with us today. We love her. We'll see you tomorrow, Rebecca. We're going to call it here. I want everybody on our channel. Let's go over together. Let's go raid his YouTube channel as he gets ready to do this broadcast, because that story is a heartbreaking story, man. So it is. Bless you for extending coverage on that. I couldn't talk about that for more than one day. But God bless you, man.
No, I appreciate it.
Hey, Pascal, real quick, man, before you get out of here, man, there can be 100 people in the room and 99 won't slap you, but one will.
I hope you feel that way too.